Now it's time to break it.
Welcome back to the sports episode of the Splitscreeners Podcast.
Yeah!
We
The shootiest. The hoopiest.
are your hosts. Zach,
What's up, guys?
Gavin,
No!
Aaron, I'm Nick. This is our sports episode. Like I said, we're going to be going over Week 9 of the NFL. WWE Crown Jewel happened last weekend. We're going to go over those results, make our predictions for Week 10, go over some bigger news that is out there. And all the while, Zach and I are going to play what I think could be the best game of the weekend if everybody is healthy, and that is the Vikings at the Bills.
Prepare for me to get stomped.
You could win, because I'm going to have to try. I want to see if I can accurately run the podcast while also playing the game.
Woo! This
So-
might be the longest episode of the week.
This is going to be fun. Start off by saying congratulations to the Houston Astros, who defeated the Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series, 4-2. We are now in the off-season of baseball. The new regular season will start March 30th of 2023, obviously. Obviously.
Touchback.
Also, congratulations to Joey Logano on winning his second NASCAR Cup Championship. The new season for NASCAR will begin February 5th.
These graphics suck.
Yeah, it's Madden.
Oh, I thought that was his dong. That was just a towel.
As I said at the beginning, so WWE Crown Jewel happened last weekend. Wanted to go over the results of that, starting with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. They're the ones that started off the show.
Yeah.
This was a pretty fun match. I think I brought it up last episode. There's something about meaty men slapping meat that I'm just a big fan of, and that's exactly what this was. I think that it definitely could have been longer, for sure, and the ending was kind of wonky because Bobby Lashley looked like he was going to have Brock Lesnar pass out because he had him in his submission hold. When Brock Lesnar propped his feet up on the ropes, kicked back, landed on top of Bobby Lashley, and got the pinfall. So Brock Lesnar won. Not a bad start to the pay-per-view. Obviously, I think having Brock and Bobby start was actually a pretty good idea. Then we went into the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which was Damage Control, which is Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Alexa Bliss and Asuka.
Yeah.
This match was alright. I'm not a big fan of the women's tag team matches. I understand that it's necessary to create more titles out there for the women's division. Tag team wrestling is so difficult because it kind of always follows the same narrative. Bad guys beat down one guy, they make the tag. Damage Control did end up winning this match and winning the titles back, which was a weird choice just because
How do you snap the ball?
Alexa Bliss and Asuka had just won them the previous Monday, so kind of weird on that front. Then we went on one of my favorite matches of the weekend, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a steel cage match. This match was brutal, a lot of fun. It really looked like Karrion Kross was going to get the win through the steel cage door when Drew McIntyre escaped over the top and ended up winning the match. Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio faced off against the OC, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. This was also a really, really good match. Outside interference by Rhea Ripley caused the loss for the OC, so Judgment Day was able to pick up the win. On Monday Night Raw, for those of you that stay tuned every week, the OC did introduce a female member of their group to kind of even the odds up a little bit. So hopefully we'll get to see some... Holy mackerel, the wind is blowing in this game.
Kick it. Oh, shit.
Oh, that would have been a cool first down.
Braun Strowman versus Omos. This match was probably my least favorite match of the night. I do like the fact that Braun Strowman was able to pick up the win here in his first big match since coming back to the company. I just think that the match itself didn't work that well. Braun Strowman struggled to get Omos up most of the match. Finally got him up for one power slam. Ended up winning the match off of one power slam, which seemed pretty lame.
Yeah, that's skill.
Yeah. But again, two meaty men slapping meat, I can never go wrong. The Usos versus the Brawling Brutes. Butch and Rich Holland were up next for the undisputed tag team titles. We kind of all knew the Usos weren't losing these titles at this pay-per-view, and that's exactly what happened. They ended up beating the Brawling Brutes, but this match was really good. There was a lot of intensity to this match. I really do like the Brawling Brutes as a tag team. I think they're a lot of fun to watch. They're just... I think that they're going to be a good partnership. And once the tag team titles are split up again, and the Usos aren't holding both titles, the Brawling Brutes should definitely hold one of the tag team titles.
It went forward a little bit for once.
Bianca Belair beat Bayley in a last women's tag match for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was crazy. All kinds of weapons were used in this match. Bianca was only able to get the win because she opened the ladder, laid Bayley down on one side.
What the fuck was that?
Fuck yeah, touchback.
And then,
That's not a touchback.
That
You have to be in an end zone for that.
that's a safety.
So she...
Oh.
No, you're,
No,
I mean, you're
right.
both right. A touchback is on a kickoff. A safety is... Yeah.
This is my first time playing Madden in like 2 years.
I used to play.
She took the ladder. She laid Bayley
I
down.
fucked that up.
She closed the ladder on top of Bayley, and then she shoved it under the ring post so she couldn't lift the ladder up, and she was like.
Have you
stuck
not
in
been
between.
watching this whole
That's how she
time?
No,
picked it
I've
up.
been watching this whole time. It wasn't that bad though. You almost just fucking just jumped for no reason. You're like, oh shit.
And then we had the best match of the night, which was the undisputed WWE Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. This match was phenomenal. Logan Paul looks like an absolute WWE superstar in the making.
Blech.
Roman Reigns ended up picking up the win, but Logan Paul had some amazing moments. At one point, he got the phone from the crowd, climbed up to the top rope, held the phone as he jumped off the top rope onto Roman on the announcer table, which made for an awesome shot. When he posted that to social media, he had... What the hell are you doing? Hey, you're actually punting this stuff.
Gotta get the ball away from here for once. Nope.
He was on the outside of the ring, like standing on the apron, did a front flip over the top rope into a clothesline on Roman. I mean, he had a lot of great spots.
Yeah.
Really, really good match. Obviously, Roman winning was definitely the right result in this match. Having Roman lose after all of this,
Yeah, especially to an outsider.
yeah, would have been a huge mistake. But Logan Paul did look great.
Yeah. Yeah, good exhibition match.
As far as our predictions go for the matches, Gavin actually won 6-2.
Nicely done,
Way to
Gavin.
go, Gavin.
Aaron and I tied at 5-3, so one behind. And then Zach at 3-5. Zach was really distracted last week, which really helped our odds.
Yeah, it did.
I see why you keep handing me the controller now.
Yeah, we're just gonna really fuck you.
Survivor Series is the next WWE pay-per-view. That will be November 26th. So we will have predictions on that in a couple of weeks for sure. And then the only big piece of WWE news that I wanted to bring up is that the 24/7 championship, which was introduced a couple years ago as kind of like a throwaway title they would throw on TV every once in a while. They'd have people chasing each other backstage, trying to pin each other to win the title. It's dead. It was won by Nikki Cross on Monday Night Raw. Nikki Cross then took the title and threw it in the trash can. And I hope that means that it's gone forever because this title was pointless.
Garbage.
When it first started out, it sounded like a great idea. I was super excited for it, but It was awful. We'll move on to NFL. Like I said, Survivor Series a couple weeks away, so we'll do our predictions on that. I don't think next week, the week after that. So, NFL, we'll start off with some fantasy news. First of all, I think I have him in our Split Screeners League. Joe Mixon is a fucking stud. 55 points, I think he scored last week in PPR leagues. Scored 5 touchdowns for the Bengals. Just an absolute monster. Fantasy player of the week for sure.
Yeah.
Current standings in our fantasy league, Gavin and I are tied at 6-3. Zach and Aaron are tied at 3-6. And surprisingly, Gavin and I face each other this week. Zach and Aaron face each other this week. So we will have a definitive number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Why do you keep doing that?
Is that
What are you
just
pressing?
square?
Look, yeah, I wouldn't press square.
Don't press square.
I was trying to pass to somebody who had square marks above them.
If you look at the things, it says run, pass, or run, or any of those things. And the lines, the red
I'm not
lines,
listening,
telling you
Gavin.
which hole you're taking.
Gavin, you don't know shooty hoops.
I don't.
All right.
Good.
As far as the games go from last week, we each picked a game last week. Aaron, you had the Seahawks and the Cardinals. What do you got?
Yeah, well, the Seattle Seahawks finished Week 9 with a 31-21 win over divisional rival the Cardinals.
Yeah, they did.
They fucking killed them.
They kicked their ass.
down!
So with this win,
Pretty
the
sad for me.
6-3 Seahawks now hold a 2-game lead in the NFC West
Yeah, they do. They're
over
looking-
those 3-6 chump Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals suck.
Yeah, they did not do too well.
Cardinals are dog shit.
Yeah, they're not gonna figure anything out in time to even think about making the playoffs.
And then on the flip side, you do have the Seahawks who, surprisingly, with Geno Smith at quarterback, who has been a journeyman thus far in his career, started his career with the Jets, went to the Chargers, now on the Seahawks, is playing out of his mind good this season, which is super impressive.
It is. We got Kenneth Walker gained 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, 29 total touches. And he forced 5 missed tackles, so he's continuing his journey to Rookie of the Year campaign there.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Doing very well.
Did you get the fumble, or did you just make a fumble?
I just made a fucking fumble.
He just fumbled. I got the ball.
Oh, okay.
I was doing good for 2 plays.
Okay, Zach.
Nicely done.
Zach. Oh my god.
Oh, they're reviewing. You might get the ball back. No, you got the ball back.
Okay. See the pass.
We also have Tariq Woolen making his own Defensive Rookie of the Year attempt here.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen
he's
playing
been
like
doing
a
really good.
stud for, I think, there we go. I'll take the ball that way. I think you, a 4th round pick, a 3rd or 4th round pick, Tariq Woolen out of UTSA looking like a absolute stud for the Seahawks.
Hell
That
yeah.
team just playing really good football together.
They've been really fucking good this season. I know I usually root for them, but they're actually doing stuff this year. And Shelby Harris dominated the Cardinals' interior offensive line.
Yeah, thanks for that one, Broncos. Since he was one of the Broncos that got traded over last year, or in the offseason for Russell Wilson.
Sorry about that, Nick.
It's all right. Russell Wilson's going to pick up.
Be aggressive.
It's about all I got
Get
for
the
that
penalty.
game, other than, they
Take
just
out his kick.
stomped the Cardinals.
They're going to keep it going, too. I really think that the Seahawks, especially in this division, which looks weak currently because the Cardinals aren't playing as well as they should be, and the Rams are playing horribly. The Niners are the next best team in that division, and I think the Seahawks, if they keep playing this way, can easily win that division.
Yeah.
So,
Which is good.
my game was up next. I had the Rams at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers did end up pulling this one out 16-13 in one of the biggest snooze fests on the fucking planet. Tom Brady throws a late touchdown pass to rookie tight end Cade Otton to win the game. I don't know what's going on with this Rams offense. They just can't seem to get clicking, which is crazy because it's a lot of the same pieces that we had last year when they won the fucking Super Bowl. That's the crazy part, is that January, we were talking about this team being one of the best teams in football, and now we look at them and they look terrible. 13 points. I get it. The Buccaneers defense is a pretty good defense, but this is a Rams team that with Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford and Allen Robinson should be able to put up a lot more points than 13.
Yeah.
Tom Brady led the game 36 of 58 for 280 yards and 1 touchdown. Obviously, that touchdown that won the game. Rashad White actually starting to pick up some of that running back duty from Leonard Fournette. They about split carries evenly, 8 to 9. Leonard Fournette's still getting a little bit of the edge there. And then Cade Otton with starting tight end Cameron Brate out was able to have a big game. We know how much Tom Brady likes throwing to his tight ends. For the Rams, I mean, we look at this team. Matthew Stafford, 13 to 27 for 165 yards and 1 touchdown. Just not getting the job done. And obviously that touchdown was to Cooper Kupp because they have breakfast together every morning and they're like best friends on the entire planet. But I don't know what's going on with really either of these teams. I don't know if it's, for the Buccaneers, I don't know if it's Tom Brady's age catching up to him. I don't know if it's the divorce. I don't know if it's just the stress of...
It's just all of the above.
Yeah. Because he doesn't look like the same guy. Then we look at the Rams, who, like I said, just in the Super Bowl, look awful, man. I don't get it. This was a bad game for me to... I literally picked this game only for the reason that I was hoping that I was going to get to shit all over Tom Brady losing to the Rams, and then the opposite happened. So, sucks for me.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the docket was the Titans and the Chiefs, which is Gavin's game. Gavin, you
All right. So, I had the Titans and the Chiefs. I do have a couple issues with this. It was a good game, but I hate the Chiefs won by being bitches. All right. So the Chiefs did win. It was 17-20 Chiefs.
Wrong way.
Titans got 17. So we'll go with the first quarter. It was going really well. It was very back and forth. No one was really getting much ground. But at about 6 minutes left in the first quarter, the Chiefs decided to just kick a field goal from 23 yards away, which is trash. It's like winning with a penalty kick.
Hey, but a win's a win, right?
Okay, so we get to the second quarter, and the Chiefs get a touchdown. McCole Hardman, it was a 7-yard pass, and then Harrison Butker, who made the field goal, failed this extra point field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 0-9 at this point. Titans then got a touchdown. Derrick Henry on the Titans got a 4-yard run.
Yeah, Derrick Henry stud.
With a successful extra point by Randy Bullock, making the score 7-9 Chiefs. And then with 5 minutes left in the quarter, Titans got another touchdown. Derrick Henry again for a 1-yard run.
Yeah, Derrick Henry stud.
It was a really short run. They were like on that fucking line. It was a very close.
Holy shit!
It was a good game. And then they got another successful extra point
I did it.
by Randy Bullock again, 14-9 Titans. Third quarter starts, Titans make a field goal, which, but at least it's a more respectable one. This was a 44-yard field goal as opposed to the 23-yard field goal that Harrison Butker made at the beginning of the game. I was very bothered by it. I don't know why. It's just like winning with penalty kicks. It really is. So,
are you like moving your joystick around?
No.
Weird. The wind is not doing that for my kicker. Maybe my kicker is just that much better than yours.
Probably.
So,
it's a penalty. I'll take that.
And to be fair, it's fine trying to get a field goal. And winning's winning. But it's the first quarter. Okay.
Well, yeah, but is it fourth down? Because on fourth down, your options are basically go for it and lose possession, or kick a field goal and make sure that you guarantee to get some points.
True. But
Strategy.
they could have gotten the touchdown, or they could have just gotten it over, because that's all they've been doing the entire game up to that point. They were just going back and forth. Titans didn't even try to get a field goal, even when they were down by a field goal, until the third quarter, where it's a lot more respectable, and they did it for literally twice the distance.
Gavin fucking hates field goal kickers.
Yeah, it does.
He has no respect for kickers.
No,
You're a kicker, you can get out. You can get the fuck out of the NFL.
And then the fourth quarter
Go
came
play
around.
soccer, you hippies.
You can really feel the desperation of the Chiefs to pull out this win. They get a touchdown with 2 minutes and 56 seconds left with Patrick Mahomes making a 14-yard run. And then another... And then Mahomes made a successful 2-point conversion for the extra points, bringing the score to 17-17, which is a tie game.
That's a tie ball game.
Wow, that's depressing.
Look, I'm just... Yeah, okay. They went into overtime at this point.
Yeah. And this is why Gavin hates kickers right here.
So it goes in overtime.
just kicking
And with 4 minutes and 4 seconds left in overtime, Harrison Butker made a slightly better field goal at 28 yards.
Gavin's just dicing out my defense. Or Zach's just dicing out my defense right now. Just throwing all over me.
Good job, Dyson.
Yeah, but one comes to defense on
Making
my
it
side.
so
I
that
don't
the
know what
Chiefs
I'm
win.
doing.
Now, I'm not upset that the Chiefs
You
won.
playing as Zach.
It's just...
The Vikings.
Like...
Way to win on field goals.
You went on field...
Yeah.
Like... Come on. It's...
This game seems pretty one-sided.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Did I play the second half of your game?
No.
Zach's making a comeback.
He's Dyson.
But it was a good game, and we'll give him that. It was very, very close.
If not for those damn kickers.
No, the kickers were fine. Except for Harrison Butker.
Yeah, except for Harrison.
Look, actually, I don't know who the hell the Chiefs
You better call a timeout, Zach.
coaches.
How do you do that?
Oh, you're out of time.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know who the Chiefs
Set the
coach
controller
is.
down. It's halftime. That way you can do whatever you're gonna do because your game will be up next.
I don't know who the coach of the Chiefs is, and I realize that he's the one that probably made the field goal call.
I've had the ball 4 times. And I've run 4 plays.
Yeah.
And I've scored 4 touchdowns.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yeah.
I'll put up a
That's
little
a
bit
great
of fight.
conversion rate.
No.
But again, it's the first quarter. Like, it's not even like it's down to the wire. They had 7 minutes left in the first quarter for a field goal. Come on, and it's not even a. Come on, guys. Just why? And then you fail the next field goal.
You have to say your game plan, Zach.
What?
Set your game plan.
Oh.
Pick one of those. Yeah, Chiefs gonna chief basically should be the headline of this game. Because it's just the Chiefs are one of the best teams in football, and they're gonna find a way to get a win, even if it is against
evidently.
a game, even if it is a close game like it was against the Titans.
It was a good game though.
Anytime it goes into overtime, I'm pretty happy. With
Yeah, it was a good game. It was fun to watch.
Unless it goes into overtime at like 0-0, then I'm kind of pissed off. Boring.
But it was also pretty boring. Because like almost everything happened in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then there was 2 field goals
Yeah.
and 1 touchdown at the ends. So it was just it had a lots of action-packed slice, and then it was really boring.
Air slice.
Zach, you're the last one. The Monday Night Football game, Ravens. Nope. Yeah, Ravens at Saints.
I was like, don't tell me I've been looking at the wrong game. This was a pretty sad game for the Saints. Their record is currently 3-6. Ravens 6-3. Ravens basically dominated this game. They've scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I might be wrong on that. Saints, they only got field goals. And then a touchdown right at the last minute of the fourth quarter. Pretty sad game from what I saw. Yeah, you want to help me out with that one?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey,
Hold on.
just harp on about the field goals.
Field goal this, field goal that.
So yeah, final score of this game 27-13. The Saints.
After that great game last week,
Yeah.
kicking the Raiders' ass.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't? Except for
Yeah, the Raiders.
played like dog shit.
Yeah, the Raiders are a mess of a franchise. One of the worst teams in football. They have blown 3 20-point leads in this season. They just look horrible. The Saints have looked better, but this game was just. I mean, you're walking into a buzzsaw. The Ravens are playing well. Lamar Jackson looks great. The defense for this team is good. If they can stay healthy, this is a team that can seriously be playing in the AFC Championship game once we get into the postseason. I just don't think the Saints. I would consider the Saints basically at this point dead in the water. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Unfortunately.
They need to get themselves a quarterback. This whole swap between Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton is not going to obviously lead them to a lot of success. And they have a lot of pieces on offense to build around. They just need that quarterback in place. So maybe that's what they'll get this offseason in the draft, and they'll finally be able to clear that up. But, yeah, just not a good outing from the Saints, and the Ravens looked great. Getting to a couple pieces of news before we get into predictions for next week. We'll start with the Indianapolis Colts, who fired their head coach, Frank Reich, after... Yeah, I don't know why you're just doing that. That's crazy. And then they go ahead and they hire. Firing your head coach is normal halfway through the season. There's usually one team that does it a year, basically, a team that's playing like absolute shit. Just not looking good. They end up firing their head coach, but usually they replace him with somebody else who's already on the staff. Like the offensive coordinator comes up and is the head coach. The Colts are a little bit different in their organization. Jim Irsay is a crazy person who I absolutely love. I think Jim Irsay is such a cool guy. But he hired former Colts center Jeff Saturday to be the head coach. Jeff Saturday.
No experience,
which is a wild concept to think about. But one of the best offensive linemen I've watched in my time of watching sports. So I can't fault them for it. We'll have to see how it plays out. I do think potentially this was just a hire legitimately to lose a bunch of games this season so they can have a good pick next year. Which, if that's the case, that's sad. Tanking is sad.
Yeah, that's shitty.
We are at the halfway point of the season, so I wanted to do a little breakdown, kind of try and guess some playoff teams, and talk about coaches that could be fired. I was going to run through these super quick. Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is actually going through an injury on his throwing
elbow.
I don't know how severe it is. We'll have to see how that plays out this weekend when the Vikings come into Buffalo. If he's looking all right, Buffalo Bills are one of the AFC favorites to go to the Super Bowl, I think. But if that injury's serious, that's going to be a major loss for this team. A team that had such a bright future this season as far as potentially winning a Super Bowl. If Josh Allen is healthy, I think that they are the easy favorite to win the AFC East. If not, I'm going to give it to the Dolphins, who have looked great this year, especially when their starting quarterback Tua is playing. They have just looked awesome. This whole division's really good. We have the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, who surprisingly have been one of the better teams in football, and the Patriots, who are still above 500. So I think all the coaches are safe. I do think Miami is the one that, if Josh Allen is out, Miami is going to be the team that comes out of this division. If Josh Allen can play, the Bills obviously will make it. I do think Miami, either way, will be a playoff team. Maybe just a wild card. In the AFC North, we have the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. I do think the Ravens are going to win this division. I do think the Bengals are another one of those wild card teams. I just think as long as the Ravens stay healthy, this team is one of the best in football. I love Lamar Jackson on this offense. Again, I don't see any coaches really on the hot seat here. Cleveland had their head coach, or their starting quarterback, who they traded for in the offseason, Deshaun Watson, out for the first 11 games of the season. So the fact that they're 3-5, I don't think affects their head coach. And the Steelers have Mike Tomlin, one of the best head coaches in football, just in a shitty situation there with some injuries, a rookie quarterback, all of that stuff. So I think all the coaches are safe in the North. All the coaches are safe in the East. And I do think that Baltimore and Cincy both come out of that division. In the AFC South, we could see a lot of shakeup here. Obviously, the Tennessee Titans look awful. The Tennessee Titans are leading the division. But
not anymore. Since they lost to the Chiefs, they were 5-2 equal.
Well, in their division. So it's the Titans, the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Texans.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, wait.
And the Titans are still the best team in that division. The Jaguars could give them a run if the Titans have any issue towards the end of the season. I mean, they're going to lose this week. They're playing the Denver Broncos this week, so the Titans are definitely going to lose this week. And we're going to get... And I could see Jacksonville potentially making a push, but I think this is Tennessee's division to lose. And then we have the AFC West. As far as coaches getting fired, we already had the Colts fire their coach. If Jeff Saturday does not work out, I think Jeff Saturday is just as good as gone for Indianapolis. And Houston, with Lovie Smith, this is his first year there. But if they feel the need to move on, if they're going to try and just start all over again, I think that Lovie Smith could definitely be shown the exit. Usually, we have somewhere between 6 and 8 head coaches all getting fired towards the end of the year. In the AFC West, it does look like the Chiefs are going to win this division like they have the last couple seasons. Patrick Mahomes and this team they're just too good. I do believe the Chargers are going to be that 7th team. As much as I want to say Denver's going to make the playoffs, at this point I have no faith in it whatsoever. Even if we can win a couple games here back to back, because we have an easy schedule here. Tennessee, Las Vegas, and then Carolina. Even if we won those 3 games, we still have to play the Chiefs twice. We still have to play the Chargers again. We still have to play the Ravens. I don't think Denver makes it. I don't think Nathaniel Hackett gets fired. I think that obviously as a first-year head coach, I think that he gets to stay on for one more season, really see if he can turn this ship around. Chargers are safe. I do think they make the playoffs. And then the Raiders, I think that Josh McDaniels gets fired. I know that it's his first year in Las Vegas, but this team has looked absolutely horrendous. And Josh McDaniels, we already know because he coached the Denver Broncos years ago, is just not a good fit as a head coach. A great offensive coordinator, one of the best offensive minds in football when he's coaching the Patriots, but just absolutely dog shit as a head coach. Dog shit. In the NFC, as much as I hate to admit it, I do think Philly comes out of this division as the winner. They're the only undefeated team left in football. They look good against really shitty competition. They haven't played anybody worth their salt, so we'll have to see once they actually get some tougher competition, hopefully in the playoffs. Oh, what the fuck? But I do think that there is potential for the Cowboys and the Giants both to come out as wildcard teams in this division, and I do believe that there's a shot that Ron Rivera loses his job in Washington this offseason. In the North, the Vikings are running away with that division. The Vikings and the Bills, if Josh Allen is healthy, that is my Super Bowl matchup. Vikings-Bills, I just think that would be so much fun. 2 teams that have lost a bunch of Super Bowls. Neither of them ever won a Super Bowl. It'd be a lot of fun to watch those 2 teams. I like both of those teams. So I would be okay Vikings and Bills. But Vikings are definitely winning the NFC North. Dalvin Tomlinson. Get back here, you chubby son of a...
He's so slow.
I don't think anybody else in this division...
further than I thought you would. That was
Oh, no.
I don't think anybody else in this division makes the playoffs. The Packers aren't going to fire their head coach, though. I don't think the Bears fire their head coach. They have had some good moments this season. I do think that Dan Campbell in Detroit could be getting fired at the end of this year. In the NFC South, it looks like it's Tom Brady's race to lose at this point. The Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers have all looked pretty terrible. Dog shit. They've had their moments. I think the Falcons look a lot better than people thought. I thought the Falcons were going to be one of the worst teams in football. So the fact that they're 4-6 is impressive. But I just think that Tom Brady will be too much. Nice. Tredavious White. As far as people losing their job here, Carolina has already fired their head coach, Matt Rule. Steve Wilkes, I think, will be shown the door at the end of the year. I think they're going to bring in somebody more established. Atlanta, I don't think Atlanta's firing their head coach, but New Orleans could move on from Dennis Allen if they want to go for a more offensive-minded head coach here. And triangle. Oh, I just gave it right back. Alright. Last division, the NFC West. The Seahawks, I do believe, win this division. I think that the Seahawks have been playing, like I said earlier, really, really, really good football, and I think that they're going to keep it up. I think they win this division. I do think San Francisco gets in as that 7th seed or somewhere in that wild card race. And then we have the Rams and Cardinals. Neither of them are going to fire their head coaches, but they do need to take a big look at what's going on with those rosters because both of these teams should be better than they are. And I think that we're going to see changes from both these teams this offseason for sure. All right. We'll get into predictions for this upcoming weekend. Everybody can pick their game that they're going to watch. If one comes up and it sounds interesting to you, just throw it out there. I'll put it down as your game. First one coming up, Seahawks Buccaneers. This game is taking place in Germany at 7:30 in the morning on Sunday.
I'll cover this one again.
And
Seahawks.
all right. We already talked about this many times. Seahawks look really good.
Yeah, Geno Smith's been on fire.
Geno Smith's been on fire. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I don't think that they win this one. I think the Seahawks can pull out a victory in Germany against a team who just has not looked like themselves this season. Give me the Seahawks.
I'd say Geno Smith's doing great, and Seahawks defense has been on point. I'm going to go Seahawks.
I'm going to circle yours so I know this is your game.
And Tom Brady's been dog shit.
Tom Brady has been dog shit. And it's been a long time coming, man.
Buccaneers, Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks.
What's going on?
Seahawks?
You know so much about what's going on here.
What?
He's been studying.
I watched some foosball.
What?
Seahawks Buccaneers, get him.
God. We have a body snatcher right next to us. The Seahawks are what, Bills?
Buccaneers.
Oh, Buccaneers.
Yeah, how do you not know what's going on, Gavin? You
No,
don't even
I
know who's playing. Who are you going with, Gavin?
Seahawks.
Seahawks?
Seahawks clean sweep across the
Yeah.
board. Nobody going with that piece of shit. Tom
Can
Brady.
you blame anybody?
Buccaneers are not good.
Next game on the docket is the one that we are currently playing: Vikings at Bills. I do
Vikings.
want it to be known there is a chance that Josh Allen, the quarterback for the
Looks like
Bills,
he's still
does
got an
not
elbow
play.
injury, right?
Yeah, we don't know the status of that. I believe that he will play. Josh Allen is a tough SOB. I think that he plays. This game is in Buffalo. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills.
Both teams are doing good, but if he is still out with that elbow injury, I'm going Vikings.
Minnesota for Aaron.
I didn't know
Minnesota
he said-
for Zach.
I guess I'll cover this game.
Zach's gonna cover this game. Bills. Gavin's gonna go Buff. Buff.
The Buffs.
Next game on the docket: Lions at Bears. This should be actually a pretty fun game. Neither of these teams are necessarily good. Neither of these teams probably have a shot of making the
Is it
playoffs.
just a way to take the extra point, or?
I'm going to go
Yeah, but if you
Bears.
So hit R1.
but you have to go for 2 because you want to make it.
Yeah.
You want to make it 28-20.
I'm going to go
so-
Bears. Justin Fields. He's the NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, he looked
And the
great. He
Lions
rushed.
don't have an answer, I don't think.
He rushed for 186 yards. Ooh, shit. Last week, he looked fucking awesome in that game, at least running the ball. He still has some things to work on as far as his passing the ball, but they did bring in Chase Claypool at the deadline. I think that this smells like a Detroit win to me all day. I love Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Detroit Lions. Woo!
All right.
What's that, bro?
Bears v. Lions.
I was trying something new. It didn't work.
Oh.
Lions at Bears.
If you want to do a squib kick, just go down.
They're both
Lions.
animals, Gavin.
You're taking the Lions, getting it, Zach?
Yep.
Lions at Bears.
All right, let's go Kitties.
Ooh, I'm the only one going for the Bears, huh?
Yeah.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Gavin and I both still need to pick a game. I might wait until the end, see what Gavin picks, and then I'll. Next game on the docket: Jaguars at Chiefs. Chiefs, like I said earlier, look like one of the best teams in football. The Jaguars haven't looked bad, but this Chiefs team is far
Definitely
superior.
going Chiefs.
I'm definitely taking Kansas City here.
Also saw some cool stats for the Chiefs and the Jags. The Chiefs have won their last 10 November games, their last 14 December games, And since 2017, the Jags are 0-20 for games that are under 55 degrees.
Wow.
And the temp's going to be 40 degrees.
Oh, shit.
So
Jaguars
I'm going
fucked.
Chiefs.
But is the moon in retrograde?
It is in the house of Aquarius, so... Chiefs.
What's going on?
Jaguars at Chiefs. Gavin.
Nick's in shock. I just blitzed him for the third time.
Yeah, look at that. You're catching up.
I know.
Jaguars.
Jacksonville
Doing
at
good,
Kansas
Even
City.
though I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to win.
Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to win. But
But you have
on
to
the
go
off
Aaron.
chance that they don't,
Yeah.
I got to be with my Cats.
I'm going to put Aaron's down because I know the answer to this one. We have the Browns at the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
This Dolphins team, again, I think is a playoff team.
Browns.
The Browns have not gotten their quarterback yet in Deshaun Watson. He comes back, I believe, next week against the Houston Texans, his former team.
Woo! More importantly, Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Had almost 5,000 completions.
Oh!
Dolphins are going to win.
All right.
I find
And he played that good joke on Ray with the laces.
Laces out, Dan.
So, yeah, Dolphins all the way every time.
Also, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is very close to breaking the record for most receiving yards in a season
Yeah.
for a Miami Dolphins receiver. Miami should easily win this game.
Yeah.
Browns at Dolphins.
Miami.
Miami.
Not because you just said that, but because you just said that.
Because you said that.
But Dolphins.
Miami across the board.
So,
Texans at Giants. NYG. I'm taking the Giants.
I'm
This
also
team-
taking the Giants.
This team is on a different path this year, man. Everybody talks shit about the Giants, talk about how they were one of the worst teams in football. They bring in offensive guru Brian Dable to be their head coach from the Buffalo Bills. He's one of the people that developed Josh Allen into being one of the best quarterbacks in football.
The Texans.
He comes in, all of a sudden Daniel Jones doesn't look like a giant heap of shit out there for the New York Giants, which is great for the Giants. Saquon Barkley is back.
Yeah.
Defense is playing great. Give me the fucking Giants.
Yeah, Giants for sure.
Gavin.
Plus the Texans have been absolute garbage.
Yeah, the
this
Texans
season.
suck. Which is crazy because the Texans last year actually weren't one of the worst teams in football. I mean, they weren't great, but they didn't look this bad last year. And I thought that they definitely improved between last year and this year.
Nope.
But
I have to
apparently
say
was
this
wrong
because it's been
again.
bothering the crap out of me. You're the reason his thing's so fucked up. It's your momentum meter. It says so. It makes it move erratically.
Cheating.
Bothering the shit
Texans
out.
at Giants. Texans at
Giants.
Giants, Zach.
Oh, I said Texans.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Sorry.
Houston. Gavin. Did you
I
say
did.
Giants?
Yeah. I never go with those Texans.
I already know where Zach's going on this one. New Orleans Saints.
Nope.
No?
No.
Not taking them?
Nope.
Versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm gonna go
These
Saints.
two teams look like shit.
They're both dog shit, but Steelers just traded away Chase Claypool, so they're in the middle of a rebuild. So
You
I'm
wanna-
going Saints.
You want to know the most fucked up part about that, Aaron? So, in the draft this past season, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected a wide receiver, George Pickens, to be on their team. The person that they had announced that pick was Chase Claypool, because later in the draft, the commissioner doesn't want to announce 250 some odd picks.
Right.
So he announces the first round, and then fans and players and the assistant commissioner, they announce the picks. And they had Chase Claypool announce that they were picking George Pickens. George Pickens is now the replacement for Chase Claypool, and the reason why Chase Claypool is now in Chicago. Yeah. That's fucked up, if you ask me. I'm also taking New Orleans here. Pittsburgh looks bad, man. I understand that they've had Big Ben for a long time, and this transition into a different quarterback has got to be hard for this team. But, man, I just... They have players, major players hurt. T.J. Watt. But But with these quarterbacks, they can't get the ground game going. The quarterbacks don't look great. I'm taking New Orleans here. I think that they win this one, just like they did against the Raiders. Saints and Steelers. Pittsburgh. Next game up, the Denver Broncos at the Tennessee Titans. Now look, the Tennessee Titans have a better record. The Tennessee Titans just played a very good game against the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best teams in football. Only lost by 3 points. The Denver Broncos, and I gotta be fair here, for most of the season has looked like dog shit on the offensive side of the ball. But they won their game in London against Jacksonville. Then they had a bye week to kind of rest up and hopefully get their minds right. Now they're coming back. They're playing against Tennessee. I think they come in with some momentum and they get the win.
Is Tannehill back?
Tennessee.
Tannehill, I believe, is back.
Tannehill's back. All right, I'm going Titans. With Tannehill back, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry is the one that I have to worry about. I think that...
And Titans' defense is just
Something
on
you're gonna come-
point, unlike the Broncos. Broncos have had no defense.
The defense has been our only...
I'm sorry.
No offense.
No offense is what I meant to say.
I was like, our
'Cause their
defense
defense
is
is all
great.
they've had.
That's the thing that worries me is
But
our
the
pass
Titans'
defense
is great.
Our pass defense is good. Our rush defense isn't great. That does bring potential for Derrick Henry to have a huge game, especially after trading away Bradley Chubb during the bye week. I will take Denver until I die. The Denver Broncos are going to play the Chiefs twice. I believe that they definitely will lose at least one of those. I'm taking Denver both times. Denver Broncos are getting the win here. Gavin's taking this game. I'm going to try and not take many Broncos games. I'll end up taking a couple before the end of the season, but I don't want to take them every week. That seems... Zach is just blitzing the shit out of me. I can't even get a throw off. Next game, Colts at Raiders.
Colts.
Gotta get you on that back foot.
I need to.
I'm going to say if the Raiders are ever going to win another game, it's going to be this game. Due with all the firings and hirings, they got Jeff Saturday. He's got no experience. They're starting a backup quarterback. They don't have an offensive coordinator. I think if the Raiders were ever primed to win a fucking game this season with how terrible they are, it's going to be this week. So I'm going to go Raiders.
I am also going to take the Raiders here. I think that you're right. I think that there's just too much going on in Indianapolis. We have no idea what Jeff Saturday's going to be. Yeah. Vegas has some point got to win one of these games. They've had leads in too many games, blown the leads. I think this is the week they hold on to it. If they lose, I'm done guessing the Raiders ever.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll take Raiders too. Why not jump on the bandwagon?
What a copycat!
Next up, the Dallas Cowboys at the Green Bay Packers. This is another situation like what's been going on with Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. These older quarterbacks that just aren't looking like their old selves. Aaron Rodgers has looked bad this year for the Green Bay Packers.
What I like about this one is they fired McCarthy. I think McCarthy
is the head coach in Dallas.
Is the head coach of Dallas now. I think this is finally going to be his moment to get back at Aaron Rodgers after that beef.
Aaron Rodgers.
So I'm going to go Cowboys.
You're taking Dallas. I'm also taking Dallas. I think this Dallas team has some fire in them. The defense looks a lot better. Dak looks good.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard looks like a stud because Ezekiel Elliott is falling off hard.
Yeah, Cowboys have given up the third fewest points this year, so
their defense
really
looks
good.
great.
And Packers haven't been able to score worth shit this year, so I'm definitely going Cowboys.
All right.
Fucking
Dallas for Zach. Gavin?
Who was it against?
Dallas versus the Packers.
Plus the Packers.
Look, I have Aaron Rodgers on my fantasy team, and he's been fucking me.
Yeah, he sucks, huh?
Sucks ass. So let's go to Dallas.
Dallas, that's one across the board.
He's just warmed my bench right now, anyways.
Two teams that I was just talking about in the NFC West that are not meeting expectations. The Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams.
COVID got everybody. What was that COVID season?
Well, both teams are dog shit.
Both teams are dog shit.
But Rams have a slightly better defense, so I'm going to go with them.
Yeah. I would take whichever team was playing at home. And since the Rams are playing at home, Both of these teams don't look good. Again, kind of like the same thing with the Raiders. I think that at some point they've got to get on track. So I am gonna take the Rams here. Zach, Cardinals at Rams.
You know what? Let's go with Cardinals.
Yeah, he's mixing it up. He didn't say same.
This is going to be the game that I'm going to take since everybody else has picked theirs. The Los Angeles Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh, Niners and Chargers. Chargers have a lot of fucking injuries. So did Niners, but I think they're mostly recovered now. So.
Yeah.
And either way, I always go Niners. So
at one point this season, the San Francisco 49ers had all backups playing defense.
And the Niners had a bye, so they're probably golden. I'm going to go Niners.
All right. Gavin? Chargers, Niners.
Niners.
Zach?
Chargers.
All right. Two more. The Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles. Fuck the Commanders. Horrible name.
Yeah, Eagles are not gonna lose their 8-0. They're going 9-0 this week.
I think
Commanders.
so.
I mean, Jalen Hurts. He's number 2 in the NFL currently. There's no way they're breaking their streak to the Commanders.
Philly has done a good job this season beating up on bad teams, and that's exactly what they get here. A Washington team that does not look great. Philly goes 9-0. I think this one's easy.
And I think all their players are healthy.
Yeah.
They're coming off a break, so
yeah,
they're gonna dominate.
And then last one, we didn't do this last week, but since we are recording Fridays, I should throw Thursday Night Football in there. Titans at Packers. We get another Packers game in here.
Yeah, Titans.
Same.
Tennessee across the board here.
What?
No, sorry. Tennessee for the 3. I'm going Green Bay.
Oh, shit.
And at some point, this is going to seem like I'm just hating on the Tennessee Titans, and that's not true. I just think that there's some weaknesses in the Tennessee team that you can exploit for sure. And I think at some point, just like with the Buccaneers, just like with the Broncos, at some point, Russ and Brady and Rodgers are going to figure their shit out, and they're going to win a couple games here. I think Green Bay might start it here against the Tennessee Titans. That is our predictions. Next week, Aaron, Seahawks, Buccaneers. Zach, Minnesota Lions. Or Minnesota Buffalo Bills. Gavin, Denver, Tennessee. I'm going to have the San Francisco Los Angeles.
Playing Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
For our predictions last week, I ended up winning last week, 9-3. I liked that quite a bit.
That's
pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Getting only 3 wrong in a week, and it would have been. The fucking Bills screwed me last week. They lost to the Jets, which was weird. Aaron and Gavin tied at 7-5, then Zach at 5-7. Zach had a bad week last week. We're gonna blame it on the fact that he was focusing on trying to kick Gavin's ass in WWE. Because last year he dominated.
Yeah,
Look, I just went
you
with
and
Zach.
Zach swapped roles.
Yeah. Maybe that's how it'll be all season.
You wish.
He'll do better this week. He copied almost all of them.
But that is all I
It's
have.
100% down the board.
That is all I have for this
Just
episode.
gets every game right.
We'll be back next week. Next week, without a whole lot going on in the NFL or WWE and stuff like that. It's going to be mainly Week 10 recap, Week 11. Baseball's over, NASCAR's over, basketball's going on. Maybe when football ends, we'll talk about some basketball some more. But until then, we will be back with more NFL content next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just kicked Zach's ass. Unsurprisingly.
I started pulling ahead, pulling up a little bit.
Hey, you scored some points.
You closed the gap.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go back and check out some of our older episodes, man. And hit that comment, subscribe, notification bell. Turn all that shit on. Comment and let me know who's going to win the games next week. Call us dumbasses for
Tell us
who we
we're
pick.
Because we usually are.
Yeah, usually. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is time to
Split!